have a new hairstyle, so I wanted to, I don't know what I was doing. What's up guys, welcome back or welcome to the channel. If you're new, it's Sahara. I have on this one sleeveless shoulder top. It's a bright peachy top from Shein. I also have on my Shein jewelry as well, just always mentioning that. And then I have on some Adidas pants. I shaved, no sorry I didn't shave, but I have some clips in it. I cut me some bangs. I haven't had bangs since like 2018, I think. I'll insert the pictures because I think I still have some pictures. Well, of course I still have some pictures. Like, what am I even saying? I already did my brows off camera per usual. That's why I had my bangs clipped out of the way. They're pretty short enough so I don't have to like completely move them out of the way to do an eye look, because you can still see them. I didn't want to cut them too short. Anyway, let's get started on this eye look because it is not about the bangs. I'm going to be using the Profusion Sienna's palette. I haven't used this in a while, and this is the perfect summer fall type of palette, especially if you want to do peachy looks because it has like peachy eyeshadows. It's going to be a very simple look. Rumor number 3 base, and apply this over the eyes. My brows kind of look a little jacked up but I was like, I had thought about it like halfway through. I was like, you know, you have bangs now, so it's like it doesn't even matter. I can go ahead and not even do my eyebrows. Sometimes I know that when the wind blows, I think at that point I was pretty much just rambling, but I was talking about like when that wind blows and it blows your bangs out the way, you can see that your eyebrows are undone. But anyway, I did them off camera already, and I was gonna do a talk through, but I decided to do a voiceover instead because I had gotten on the phone. So anyway, I'm just gonna blend out the P. Louise base with this sponge. Moving on to the Profusion palette, I'm gonna be using the first shade called Polite. It is a matte off-white, but I'm gonna use that as the brow bone highlight because I love using like a white matte eyeshadow as a brow bone highlight. It just makes it go on so much smoother rather than like a shimmer shadow. Next shade I'm going in with is called Oasis. It's like this really light peachy shade. It's not pale, but it's still really light enough, but deep enough to go into the crease. But it still has like some sort of brightness to it where I can apply that as more so like the transition shade above the crease. But I'm like tapping it on with this e.l.f. brush. It's like a flat, fluffy brush, so it's more of like a packing brush. So now I'm just going down the line at this point, and I'm taking the next shade called Fearless, which is like the same type of tone as the first one, but it's a little bit deeper, and I'm focusing that like directly into the crease and on a outer, I guess that's the outer third or something like that, and I'm still keeping it in that C shape, but I just want to add a little bit of depth into that part right there, and I'm just going to blend both of those shades back and forth together until I like get the type of look that I'm going for. The last matte eyeshadow that I'm going to be going in with is the last one on that line called Outspoken, and it's a deeper peachy shade, but it's more of like a brown undertone. So I'm going to focus that like more so on the actual lash line, but still kind of dragging it upward. So I'm blending it so to add even more depth to the outer third part, and I didn't want to go in with a brown. I wanted to keep this summer appropriate, and I feel like doing like a smoked out brown like that may look a little too much like fall. I'm just swatching 3 of the shimmer eyeshadows in the palette. Certain is the first one, then Dizzy, and then Conquest I think it's called, and I'm just swatching these 3 to see which one I apply on a lid. So Dizzy is going to be the one I apply on the lid, and that has like a pink, gold, peachy shimmer to it, and it's so pretty. Like in some light it could look pink, and other light it could look gold. It's like a pink lemonade eyeshadow. That's why I called it before. Now I'm just going back in with the eyeshadows I use for like touch-ups, just to kind of blend that deeper
almost brown back onto the lash line, and then the other colors in the crease and stuff like that, just blending around Dizzy or Dixie. Was it Dizzy? I'm going to take a combination of the two lightest shimmer shades called Exclusive and Conquest. I think Exclusive, which is the first one, is more of like a champagne, and Conquest has more of like a pink type of shimmer to it. And I'm just going to apply those in the inner corner. Moving on to the face, I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Primer Serum. And I'm starting off with this first because I like to use like some sort of primer that I can rub directly on the skin. And then the next step, I'll go in with the, I think this is the Hard Candy Hydrating Primer Mist, something like that. This is going to kind of help to seal in the previous primer and also further hydrate the skin. So if you have kind of like dry skin like me, you're going to want to use a primer mist after regular primer. And then I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me foundation in a shade 310 Golden. And I'm using a matte foundation because I really wanted to keep the eyes kind of like this shimmer while the skin had more of a matte finish to it. And also, I'm not applying anything on my little two head because, again, the bangs are going to be covering it anyway. And sometimes I'll go without applying product on little two head because you can barely tell sometimes anyway, so it doesn't really matter. For concealer, I'm going to go in with the Wet n Wild Mega Last Incognito All Day Full Coverage Concealer in the shade Medium Honey. I actually almost forgot I had this concealer because I've been focusing on a lot more of my like higher end concealer. So I'm going to be using that, and I'm going to let it sit for a while I apply my next product. I'm going to be using the ColourPop Soul Body Bronzer in the shade Dark. And only a little bit of this because I did get it in the wrong shade. So a little goes a very long way. I'm applying the cream bronzer with an e.l.f. sculpting brush, and then I'm gonna blend out everything with the no, it's not Wet n Wild. I think it's the e.l.f. sponge, that pink one that I've been using for the past like 2-3 tutorials that I need to go and wash and stop using it before I start breaking out. But it's a really, really good soft sponge, and that's what I use to blend out the foundation too, but I'm just like switching sides on what I use it for. For cream blush, I'm going to be going in with the e.l.f. Putty Blush in the shade Bahamas. It's like this really, really pretty matte orange, and I'm going to be using that Colored Rain blush brush that I really love to apply it. It just applies it really, really soft and smooth. I would definitely recommend both of these products together, especially this Colored Rain brush that I was raving about in my previous videos. For under the eyes only, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Fit Me Blue Setting Powder in the shade 20 Light Medium. This is not the right undertone for me to set with all over the face, so that's why I just set it under the eyes because it's bright enough for me to use under the eyes and it's not drying at all. For all over the face, I'm going to use the Black Radiance Loose Setting Powder in the shade Banana. Now this has that more yellow undertone, so this is perfect for me to set all over the face with. It's not going to look too light and beige and ashy, so I'm just going to set that with this e.l.f. brush. I think that it's a bronzing or blush brush, but I just use it sometimes to set all over the face. It's like just really quick and easy, and this is also not a drying powder as well, so all of these powders work well with that Maybelline Fit Me foundation. It doesn't like dry it out. For powder bronzer, I'm going to use the Kylie Jenner Pressed Bronzing Powder in the shade Tanned and Gorgeous. Both of these bronzers, the cream and this powder one I use, have more of a red undertone, so that's why they work perfect with this type of peachy look. On a regular day, these are not my undertones because I got them in the wrong shade, but still, they work really well with this type of look that I'm going for. I'm going to go in with the Kiko Milano number 3 Smart Essential Face Palette, and I'm going to be using that shade number 4, and this has a matte finish to it. It is a light orange, but it's so pretty, like just like the prettiest flush of color. And yes, I just closed it back up because I was looking to see the shade number, but yeah, it's so pretty. I'm gonna go in with a little bit more of that face powder to clean up on the sides of the nose and where I brought the bronzer down too far on the cheek area. This is just gonna help it slim back out. I'm going to be using this Wet n Wild Precious Petals highlighter. It's in the shade Precious Petals. I already said it is. But I'm just going to apply that on the high points of the cheeks and a little on the nose. Not too much because, like I said, I did want to keep the skin a little bit more matte. If you notice, the screen changed a little bit. It got a little crooked. I didn't realize that, but I had just came back from going somewhere, so I didn't realize how the camera was set up. For lips, I'm going to go in with the KKW Nude 2 Lip Liner. And then for lipstick, I'm going to go in with the Juvia's Place In Vogue lipstick, which is a matte peachy tone. It is so pretty. I've been wanting to use it since I got it, and this is the first time me using it, and it paired perfect with this eye look and blush and shirt. The whole shebang, honestly. A liner for the waterline. I didn't know which one to go in with, so I'm starting with the one Maybelline Lasting Drama Light Liner in the shade 830 Shiny Bronze. Rimmel London Exaggerate Smoke and Shine in the shade 002 Copper Bling. LA Girl Ultimate Eyeliner in the shade Super Bright. The Maybelline one is like a light champagne rosy tone. The Rimmel one is more of like a bronzy tone. And then the LA Girl is more of like a matte nude. So I ended up going in with the Maybelline Lasting Drama, the champagne one. I just felt like it went well, child. I don't know why I couldn't say that. I think it went well with the look, with the look. Going back in with the Profusion palette, I'm going to use that deepest shade called Outspoken again, and I'm going to apply that on the lower lash line, like right below that waterline liner. And this is just going to kind of define that look. I love the look of a bright waterline contrast to a deeper lash line, lower lash line. I was trying to figure out how to say that, but yeah, I love the contrast between the two, and it really opens the eyes and make them look more awake. And then under that, I'm gonna blend the lightest peachy tone called Oasis, and just blend that right next to it. And those are the only two shades I'm gonna use on the lower lash line. And then we can go back in with that liner to help redefine that liner if it got messed up, you know, when I blended out the shades on the lower lash line. Most of the time I cut this stuff out, but today, I don't know, I'm just keeping it in just so you guys can see the how I fully blend these things out. But anyway, I'm going to move on to mascara, and I'm going to be using the NYX Worth the Height mascara. I'm going to apply this on the bottom and lower lashes. Typically, I would have put my lashes on by now, the falsies, but I didn't know what lash style I wanted to do until I finished the look this time around. For mascara, for lashes, actually, I went in with these Ardell Demi, well, I think it's just this pack of wispies, and I think I went in with the last ones, or the lashed ones, in the style 603. So what I like to do with my lashes when I haven't cut them yet, because of course I have to cut them shorter to fit my eyes, I like to put them back to back, and that will help me cut them even so I don't feel like I'm cutting less or more. And then I just cut, I think, 2 or 3 of the shortest bits off the ends. So I do them like that, put them back to back and stick them together. And that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And before we end this video, I will show the outfit. Not the shoes, because I'm not even wearing any shoes. I'm wearing some Steve Madden socks. So you'll just see the shirt and the pants together. I love, love, love this peachy tone with the black Adidas pants. I think that the shirt and the pants just go so well together. But anyway, I'll see you guys in my next video.